자, 출근하기 전에 잠깐 하고 갈게요. 얼마 못할 것 같긴 한데 한 30분 40분 정도 할 수 있을 것 같긴 한데 40분도 못하겠다. 짧게 하고 갈게. 짧게 출근해야 돼서. 이제 뭐야 이거 서브웨이 그건가? 맞네, 운송 차량이네. 마스트 지구. 여긴 약간 프레임 떨어지네. 도나 레인. 오늘도 크레딧을 적립. 뉴 아틀란티스의 추천 명소는?
Well, that depends. Are you a foodie or a shopper?
난 미식가다.
If that's the case, you have a lot of options here in New Atlantis.
돈스
Dawn's
로스트?
Roost is probably the fanciest. They have great steaks there.
스테이크가 맛있다.
But I'll be honest, I'm more of a chunks girl, and my boyfriend and I can't get enough of Terra Brew. Take care of yourself.
그렇군요. 우리가 가야 될 곳이 저기죠? 시민은 따로 상호작용 얻는 것 같고 이름 있는 애들만 좀 되는 것 같은데?
The water is quite aesthetically pleasing.
비 온다.
Or so Barrett has told me. New Atlantis relies on advanced hydroelectrics for most of its power.
첨단 수력 발전. 뭐야 이거?
Been having brownouts all the time. Must finally send someone down there, but nothing's changed.
우물이 전력 발전이 좀 그거라는데. 미션 업데이트. 우물에서 전압 강화를 조사한다. 아, 지금 퀘스트를 받은 거야?
Private sector. Now that's where the
그냥 가만히만 있어도 퀘스트가 들어오는데? 말만 들어도? 신기하네. 다 시민이네 근데.
Chief Diplomat
뭐야
Yassine
이거?
runs a tight ship at the Office of Interstellar Affairs.
성무청.
Gorgeous weather today, huh? Yeah, I work at MAST in the Office of Interstellar Affairs. I'm a sort of liaison between the UC and the Freestar Collective. I help solve communication problems, show visiting diplomats the city, things like that. Probably doesn't sound all that exciting to you, but I love it.
최고의
I've been
직업이다.
interested in a diplomatic career since I was a kid.
어렸을 때부터 그게 많았다. 뭐
The
퀘스트는 없는 것
lodge is here
같은데?
in the city. We shouldn't keep Constellation waiting.
기다리게 하지 말자. 얘는 뭐야? 케이튼 플래시.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this.
철저하게 조사해야 된다? 무슨 일 있었어? 걱정하는 것 같네.
Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST.
과학부.
I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance?
그 중요성을 이해하고
Look,
있는가?
I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it.
도와줄 수 있다면
I don't
감사하다.
normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me?
추가 데이터 도와줄게.
Well, thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all
바이오센서.
calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
바이오 센서 찾기. 시민. 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 아우. 이 사람 이름 있을 것 같아. 없어. 이 사람 이름 없을 것 같아. 없어.
We may be in a United Colonies city, but Constellation is an entirely neutral entity, and always has been.
콘스텔레이션은 중립적인 조직이라네요.
Been up there, huh? Space? Must be cool.
유시생.
Never get to go to space.
뭐야 이거? 바이오 센서. 아, 퀘스트. 이거 가져오라는 게 퀘스트였죠? 나 별무리 만나러 가야 되는데. 별무리? 잠깐만. 작은 발걸음. 작업. 로찌로 이동. 일단 이거부터 해. 여기네.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door should unlock if you hold up the watch that Barrett gave you. I
발레가
have
뭐?
messaged the other members of Constellation. They will be waiting for us inside.
안에서 기다리고 있을 것이다. 로찌. 맞네, 핏보이네. 로찌로 이동.
Captain, everyone will be in the library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger now, and he hopes you'll make this place your home.
이곳을 집이라고 생각해라.
Ridiculous. Easiest bet I'll ever win. You really think we appear to have a visitor?
손님이 온 것
Welcome to
같다.
Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
사라.
Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
왜 내가 대신 왔나? 해적의 공격을 받았다. 발레의 부탁을 받고 유물을 전달하러 왔다. 그런 건 상관없어. 너희들의 유물을 가져왔어. 누구야? 먼저 애초에 별자리란 무엇일까? 별자리란 무엇일까?
Very well. This is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions.
민간 조직이래.
Speaking of which, where is Barrett?
주름 표현 잘했네요. 여기 화날 때마다 여기 주름 이렇게 나타나네. 누구야?
Sarah Morgan,
사라
chair
모건.
of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, if you would please answer my question.
인내심 좋네. 나 같으면 벌써 때렸겠다. 해적의 공격을 받았다.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
네온?
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
아, 저거 유물 만졌을 때 어떠한 현상이 일어나는지 물어보는 것 같은데 밝은 빛과 음악이 있었다.
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
회의
Whether
듣기.
it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy
If
tales...
this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But, gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
이론을 시험해 볼 때가
Right.
됐다.
Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
그 아티팩트가 한 개가 아닌가 봐. 여러 가지가 있는데 그게 이제 동시에 모이면은 뭔가가 일어난대요.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my
움직이네.
god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None
위험한 거 아니야? 터지는 거 아니야?
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
세트가 있을
Built by
것이다.
an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Godfrey?
You're on, Walter.
Well,
아, 제가
if you had all the
카타리나야.
answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work?
눈 아파.
See
꺼져봐요
if
이거.
exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
그러니까 얘네 탐험가인 것 같아. 그러니까 민간 조직의 탐험가이면서 이런 인공물을 찾는 약간 인디아나 존스 같은 애들, 아니면 언차티드 같은 애들. 알았다, 참여하겠다. 다음에 무슨 일이 일어날지 알려주세요. 정보가 너무 많다. 유물에 대해 얼마나 알고 있는가? 별자리로 초대하는 건가? 무슨 뜻이야? 무엇을 기대하는가? 유물에 대해 얼마나 알고 있는가?
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal. Another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
그러니까 우리도 모른다 그 소리죠. 별자리로 초대하는 건가?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
알았다, 참여하겠다.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing
돈
the
주나 보다.
artifact to us. In addition to credits,
백팩.
why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability?
부스트 기능이 있다.
You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
8,000원 별자리용 팩이 추가되었다. 미션 보상은 몇이나 준 거지? 올드 네이버후드 새로운 미션 사라와의 대화. 노엘과 방에 대해 이야기한다.
Yeah?
노엘이 누구죠?
I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time, and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still.
잠깐만, 일단 얻은 것 좀. 로지의 열쇠, 바이오 센스, 별자리용 팩, 베이직 부스트 팩. 껴봐. 내가 원래 끼던 게 이거였잖아. 이클립스용 팩. 총합으로 따지면은 얘가 조금 더 좋긴 하네. 별자리용 팩이. 레벨업 좀 합시다. 탄도무기 피해량이 10% 증가합니다. 탄도무기가 뭐야 근데? 그걸 모르겠네. 일단은 지금 내가 쓰는 게 탄도무기인 것 같거든? 이거 챌린지 한 거 보니까. 사이드암, 권총, 산탄총. 일단 이거 하나 더 찍어. 이건 못 찍네. 아, 이전 랭크에 도전을 완료해야 3레벨을 찍을 수 있는 거구나. 오케이. 그 다음에 신체, 피트니스, 최대 산소량을 사용 가능한 산소량 증가, 스텔스, 소음기가 장착된 무기에 스텔스 공격력이 5% 추가된다. 역도, 최대 체력. 일단 솔직히 너무 부족하거든? 하나 찍을게요. 그 다음에 건강, 소셜, 상업, 설득, 컨테이너, 소매치기, 과학, 회복량 증가, 핸드스캐너. 줌 기능이 추가되어서 스캔 거리가 20m로 확장되었다. 이거 F 그거 말하는 것 같은데? 부스트 팩 사용 가능. 선박의 추진기, 보안, 어드밴스드 라켓킹을 시도할 수 있으며 자동 잠금 해제 횟수를 최대 2회까지 누적할 수 있다. 기술을 잠금 해제하세요는 뭐야? 자동 무기 시스템. 하나 남아있거든? 하나는 일단 아껴두자.
Bet you have your eye on something.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
아티팩트를 보내주셔서 감사합니다. 사라는 숙소에 대해 뭔가 말을 했다. 아티팩트에 잘 알고 있는 것 같네요. 유물 이외의 탐색 작업에 관심이 있다. 내가 본 비전은 무엇이었을까요? 연구를 시작한 지 얼마나 되었나요?
Well, Constellation's been around forever.
오래 전부터 있었다.
But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion.
얼마 안 됐네.
Here to see this.
2년밖에 안 됐대, 이거 발견한 지.
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory
환각이나
hallucinations.
환청이다.
What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon.
발레도 뭔가 봤나? 내가 보고 느낀 것은 내가 발산한 것이 아니었다. 합리적인 이유가 있다는 뜻인가? 뇌에 전류가 흐른 것이 아니다. 뭔가 의미가 있다. 발레도 뭔가를 봤나?
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett.
아, 발렛도
We weren't sure
봤대.
he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
뇌에 전류가 흐른 게 아니다.
Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through.
얘는 못
It's
봤나
okay.
봐.
Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
유물 이외의 탐색 작업에 관심이 있다.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet.
작업, 별자리 미션 모드 확인. 아티팩트에 잘 알고 있는 것 같네요.
Oh gosh, no. I mean that's flattering, but really we're making this
하면서
up as we
배우는
go.
중이다.
Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
할 일이 많다. 연구를 어떻게 도울 수 있을까요?
Well, right now nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology.
외계 생물학
I don't know if it will
데이터베이스가
help in this
필요하다.
case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
유기적인 것이군요. 알겠습니다. 더 큰 걱정이 있다. 유기자원이 유물 연구에 도움이 되는 이유는 무엇인가요?
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing.
데이터가 많으면
I
좋다.
don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay.
아, 돈도 준다.
Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
저 월터라는 사람이 그건가 봐. 돈 줄인가 봐. 유기자원을 가져왔다.
Okay, let's take a look.
뭘 가져왔죠, 제가? 유기자원을? 아, 이런 거? 근데 이거 다 그거에 쓰는 건데? 공해 재료. 사라는 숙소에 대해 뭔가 말을 했다.
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour.
잠깐 안내해 주겠다. 노엘 따라잡기.
Walter,
아,
you don't have
부스트
to
됐다.
answer this, but I was wondering something. You sure spend a lot of time on Constellation business. Doesn't Issa miss you?
Ah, yes, well.
아, 이사가 아내
My wife and
이름이구나.
I have something of an understanding. I have been informed that when I am home, I remain preoccupied with Constellation's work, which renders me cantankerous. My wife has therefore decided it is best if I can dedicate my time to our business here for now. For both our sakes.
Okay then. I guess if you're both okay with it. It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the iPhone.
블라디미르가? 따라오라며. 이 끝이야?
We've always considered ourselves explorers. Stay safe, okay?
뭐야, 얘랑 얘기해야 되나?
I've occasionally had my doubts about Constellation as an investment. But now, well, it's clearly money well spent.
현명한 돈
Well,
사용.
I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
그래서 사과할 생각인가? 제대로 사과해라.
I am sorry I besmirched your
아,
choice of
착하시네요.
profession and made assumptions about your character. My frustrations lie more with Barrett, not the first time his shenanigans
인격자네, 그래도.
jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we?
아, CEO야.
Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation,
부자시네.
and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
인격자네, 인격자야. Glad to be here. 여기 있어서 영광입니다라고 하는 것 같아요. 앞으로는 불쾌감을 조심하는 것이 좋다. 굳이 이렇게까지 얘기 안 해도 될 것 같아. 이미 착하신 분이 탄로 났기 때문에 굳이 뭐 긁을 필요는 없고.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale
산업부품?
projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
이런 곳에서 CEO를 만나게 될 줄은 몰랐다. 별자리에서 어떤 역할을 하는가? 내가 본 비전에 어떤 의미가 있다고 생각하는가? 스트라우드 에클랜드는 어떤 회사인가? 어떤 회사의 CEO야?
We're most well known for ship manufacturing.
조선업.
No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels.
그러니까 성능이 너무 좋아가지고
Bastards.
해적들도
I
쓰나
tried
봐.
to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
약간 잘 나가는 회사 CEO인 것 같아. 잘 나가는 것도 아니고 세계적인 회사의 CEO인 것 같은데? 다른 데서도 쓸 정도면? 스트라우드의 에클랜드 이건 봤고, 내가 본 비전에 어떤 의미가 있다고 생각하는가?
Up until very recently, I
에헴,
likely
뭐야.
dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you?
피트니스 어렸을 때부터 건강했다. 이거 그게 있네. 그 특성에 따른 그게 있네. 대답이.
I'll take your word on that. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
피가 끓어오른다. 별자리에서 어떤 역할을 하는가?
Me? Why, I'm the wallet.
지갑이다.
Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
깨어있으신 분이네. 이런 곳에서 CEO를 만나게 될 줄은 몰랐다.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks.
세바스찬 뱅크스.
I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the lodge home, as much as anywhere else.
오케이, 알겠습니다.
Remember, you're representing all of us out there.
자, 마테오
Ask
카톨리.
if you've got questions. Speak up if you have ideas. We're all here for the same reason.
Another round.
모자 뭐냐
Doing
저거?
okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else.
Fuel isn't free,
You matter
I'm
too.
afraid.
You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here.
Sometimes I think
I'm
you
Mateo.
아, 시끄러워요.
Theological
조용히
scholar by
해봐.
trade,
왜야?
but now,
You and
well,
I both know
an
you have the
explorer.
credits.
Like
신학자다.
you. It's really good to have you with us.
왜 콘스텔레이션에 합류하게 되었나요?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation.
빼앗겼다.
So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
그러니까 얘가 이제 탐험하면서 뭔가를 찾아냈는데 기업한테 그걸 뺏겼어. 그래가지고 이제 되찾으러 갔는데 그 기업의 CEO가 그 옆에 있는 월터라는 할아버지였고 서로 얘기를 하다 보니까 쿵짝이 잘 맞아서 초대받게 되었다. 내가 본 비전에 대해 어떻게 생각하세요?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence.
우연이 아니다.
Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something?
신의
I don't want to
계시?
necessarily use the words divine revelation, but you know, if the label fits.
의미가 있다고 해도 이해할 수 없다. 중요한 일이다. 그렇게 느낀다. 이상해지고 있는지도 모른다. 첫 경험이었으며 틀림없다. 이것이 종교적 체험이라고 생각하는가? 중요한 일이다.
It has to be, right? All of this is connected.
모든
We
것은
just need to figure
연결되어
out how and why. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just
진실을
need more
분명하자.
data, which means more artifacts.
이 유물들은 모두 동굴에 있었던 것일까?
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found.
But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in
창고에
storage,
있었다.
masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
오케이, 알겠습니다.
Take care of yourself.
말은 다 걸어봤고 그러면은 사라한테 얘기해 봅시다.
So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
준비 완료. 아직은 안정될 시간이 필요해. 별자리란 무엇인가? 별자리는 얼마나 알려져 있나? 아티팩트에 대해 알고 있는 것은?
Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out.
그러기 위한
It's what
조사다.
we do.
별자리는 얼마나 알려져 있나요? 그러니까 우리 이 조직이 얼마나 유명한가 물어보고 있는 것 같거든.
I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways.
그러니까 별로 유명하지 않은 게 조사하기에는 더 좋다는 소리죠. 별자리란 무엇인가? 무엇을 하는가?
We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to
위대한
unravel.
수수께끼. 준비 완료.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are.
유물인지
I've been
모를
letting
수도
my
있다.
contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually. but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
솔직히 말해서 흥분된다. 첫 임무니까. 좋아. 식민지 연합에 대해 자세히 알아보자. 인터뷰 조사는 생각대로 되지 않는다. UC 뱅가드. 또 다른 유물을 가지고 있는 사람이 있을까? 그러니까 이 아티팩트가 그냥 일반 그런 광물이랑 비슷하게 생겨가지고 아티팩트인지 모르고 이제 거래하는 경우가 있다네요. 왜 이래 이거? 흥이야, 오빠 가야 돼 이제. 또 다른 유물을 가지고 있는 사람이 있을까?
We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together.
UC 뱅가드.
A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies.
의용군.
They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
인터뷰 조사는 생각대로 되지 않는다.
You've done this before, eh? Wise words. If we watch each other's backs, we'll be fine. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
계속하면 사라가 동료로 고정된다. 별자리에는 월급이 있나요?
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to
월급
mention
중요하지.
we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
개인적으로 사고 싶은 것도 있을 텐데. 사실 먼저 혼자서 하고 싶은 일이 있다. 알아서 유물을 손에 넣을 때까지 함께하자. 같이 갑시다.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact
뱅가드의
works.
채용 사무소.
And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
무모하게 들린다. 조직에는 규칙이 필요하겠지. 무슨 뜻이야? 잡히지 않으면 훔쳐도 된다는 뜻인가? 알았다. 무슨 뜻이야? 야, 내 맘대로 해도 된다는 뜻인가?
I mean, Constellation has a roster of members who haven't always been on the right side.
옳은 행동만 하는 건
of
아니다.
society. We're risk takers. Some of us have seen the inside of a jail cell more
감옥
than
가도
once.
된다.
If you join us, it means you're committed to our mission. In exchange, we give you latitude in your choice of means.
그러니까 자기들이 만약에 원하는 아티팩트가 있으면은 그 아티팩트를 얻기 위해서 무슨 짓을 해도 된다는 뜻이죠. 그러니까 죽여도 되고 훔쳐도 되고 어떤 더러운 방법을 써서라도 갖고 오기만 하면 된다. 약간 그런 느낌인 것 같아요. 알았다.
Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
사라의 지인들고 올드 네이버후드를 완성하기 전까지는 얘를 빼먹을 수 없다네요.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
We need to talk to John Tuala in Mast.
장비 거래하기.
Want to see what I'm carrying?
잠깐만 이러면은 잠깐만요. 이제 얘가 얘도 따라오는 건가? 얘는 안 따라오나 이제 그럼?
Captain, now that you are a member of Constellation, I am at your service. No additional protocols necessary. Also, given the likelihood that you will be out in unsettled space, it might be beneficial to go over exploration outpost development, in case you ever need to build a base for field research.
작업 이미 행성의 거점 만들기. 우리 크루가 되는 건 어때 바스코? 거점 개발 무슨 뜻이야? 바레트가 없어 아쉽지 않네요. 별자리와 함께 한지 얼마나 되었나? 얘도 따라오는 것 같은데? 별자리와 함께 한지 얼마나 되었나요?
I arrived along with many material goods purchased by the group's previous chair, Malcolm Livingstone. Despite several significant system replacements and upgrades, I have been online for
43년.
43 years.
야 근데 리빙스턴 왜 이렇게 이름이 낯익냐? 이거 폴아웃에 있던 애인가? 바레트가 없어 아쉽지 않나요?
My primary function has been to support and protect Barrett during his travels. I am currently unable to do so.
지금은 할
That
수
is
없다.
as capable as I can be of missing anyone. I believe Barrett would find your question amusing.
당신의 임무는 나를 돕고 보호하는 것이다. 진지하게 일하시는 것 같네요. 감탄했다. 발렛을 지키는 것은 매우 힘들었을 것이다. 너의 임무는 나를 돕고 보호하는 것이다.
As per Protocol Indigo, which Barrett invoked on Vectera, your identity has been successfully added to the list of humans considered essential and or valuable. There is no cause for concern, Captain.
계속
I am
숨긴대.
and will remain at your service.
At your service. 거점 개발 무슨 뜻이야?
The exploration of an unknown planet can be a major undertaking. By building an outpost, you will be able to construct scanning equipment, resource extractors, and defenses. It is even possible to set up multiple outposts capable
첨단
of
장비와 우선
manufacturing,
모듈까지 제조할 수
allowing
있다.
you to build advanced equipment.
별에 필요한 자원이 있는지 어떻게 알 수 있을까?
A planetary scan will reveal the presence of key inorganic resources, although rarer elements will be harder to find without
훈련을 받아야
training.
된다.
And while a scan may detect the presence of life
직접
on a
분석해야
planet,
된다.
you will have to analyze the native plants and animals yourself to know what compounds they produce.
어떤 첨단 장비를 만들 수 있을까?
The scan booster is
Scan
the most
booster.
obvious, as it will enable you to detect landmarks and other points of interest from further away. Beyond that, extractors will allow you to collect raw materials of various types, while fabricators enable the manufacturing.
제조도
A
가능하다.
particularly prosperous outpost may even warrant the construction of cargo links, allowing you to share resources between other outposts you have built.
이거 폴아웃 4의 그거 아니야? 그거 만드는 거? 그 풋맨 정착지 만드는 거 아니야? 정착지? 그런 느낌인 것 같은데? 편리할 것 같다. 다음에 지구에 내려가면 한번 해보자.
The blueprints you need to construct an outpost should already be on your watch. It will automatically connect to any
선박의 화물
available
안에 있는
materials
자재와
for
연결된다.
construction in your ship's cargo.
우리 크루가 되는 건 어때, 바스코?
Captain, I will proceed to my assigned post.
뭐야? 승무원 관리도 중요한 일입니다. 그들의 근무 태도를 평가하고 선박이나 기지에서 그들의 자리를 교체해보자. 선박과 기지는 성능을 향상시키는 기술은 승무원마다 다르다. 승무원 배치 프론티어 제미슨 알파 켄타우리. 바스코의 배치를 프론티어로 변경하시겠습니까? 결정. 사라 모건 프론티어. 이러면은 프론티어에 2명. 선박 현재 거점에도 배치하는 것 같은데. 자, 근데 아쉽지만은 제가 이제 일가에 대해서 여기까지 하고 퇴근하고 와서 또 하도록 하겠습니다. 저장하고 내일 뵙겠습니다.